Today we're going to take you on a technique of blocking in a basement door. This is the same technique you'll use if you're blocking in a basement window, for example. First thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the door, get our Sawzall out, cut the jamb so the jamb is easier to remove. We're going to remove the jamb in its entirety and any wood structure that's in the way of the concrete block that we're going to tie into. The reason we want this all out is we want our block to bond back into that existing opening. As you can see, we're going to be redoing this whole backyard. There's going to be a pool going here. There's going to be a huge paver patio, and there's going to be concrete steps that are going to come out from the sliding glass door that's going to cover all this up. So this is going to end up being moved. They have other windows, other openings. This can go. Now we lay our first course of block. We take our hammer drill and we drill into each block opening and into the wall. And we're going to be tying in number 4 half-inch bars horizontally and vertically into our block, and we're going to be stubbing up. The reason we're doing this is for strength. Now we're going to put bars that go halfway up the wall for now, and then we're going to entirely overlap these bars once we get above that point, so the bars will span all the way to the top. Now we're going to use our bond beam block. Our supplier didn't have bond beam blocks, so we're going to make our own by simply notching out the block with a brick hammer. So the bar that is running through the block will sit right there like a seat. It'll run right through it. You spread your mud, which we're using type M masonry mortar mixed with sand and water. And then we're laying our block. We're running each course by course. We are leveling as we do it, checking plumb, level, and square. We are also filling as we're laying. We're doing rebar every other course, and we're doing the vertical bars all the way up, as you can see. We're filling each web in entirely solid with concrete mix all the way up. The bars that are in horizontally are epoxied into the wall, running both ways, so that anything that is backfilled against this will not push the wall inward. Now we're doing the joints as we lay the block as well. They look wet on the inside because we are filling it with concrete as we're going, and that water from the concrete seeps through the block a little bit, and that gets the moisture on the inside, but that's how you know you're filling it up. Now we want to get this entire thing plastered and in one day, so we work till about 7:30 because we don't want any rodents getting in or anything. We could have covered it, but we chose to block it all in and get it done. Now we're parge coating. This is parge coat part 1. We're going all the way up as high as we can just for today till we run out of mud, and we'll resume tomorrow. Now it's time to frame out the inside. So since we need to match the existing sheetrock, we're going to have to run 2x4s on a flat just to match. We don't recommend doing this. Usually we do the regular framing method, but in order to match, everything else was done on a flat. I had to do this on a flat. I am screwing into the existing wood above. I am bolting into the block I just laid using blue screws, and then I am fastening it that way. Then I'm insulating, and then once I get insulated, I'm putting my half-inch sheetrock back. Now we're to the outside. I'm up to the top. Anything that wasn't filled, I have a grout bag. I'm filling back in. Now I have a grinder with a 7-inch wheel on there that I am scoring up the existing foundation so I can plaster the rest of it, and it will give it something to stick to on the existing foundation. Now I have it done all the way up. I'm floating out just the top half of it. Once I get this entirely floated, I have my cove on. Now it's time to get back on the inside and let the outside dry, and it's time for our first coat of spackle on the inside. Now I'm going to be drilling holes in this existing concrete that was at the bottom of the steps. I'm drilling holes everywhere, so as you can see, the water drains right out. I don't want this pit to hold water, because for now I'm going to temporarily be backfilling it while we're gone. Now we're back in our second coat of spackle. Now it's time to tar this. This is foundation coating. You do this anywhere you backfill, it is code. It also keeps water out. Now I'm going to be filling this area with all this recrushed concrete, as I said, because I'm going to be doing that paver patio over top, but it's a multi-phase project. We're not going to do it now. So I'm filling it in just to be safe, filling it in with crushed concrete because I'll be using this material later for the pavers, but I'll be taking this out and removing all this concrete that's in here. But until that phase, I'm just filling it in. Third coat of spackle's up and it's sanded. Now we have to address the trim. In order to address the trim, always take a knife, cut all your corners, cut your top. Cut anywhere that is caulked or puttied in so you don't rip the paint off the existing wall. Now use a little bar, pry it off, but don't pry hard. You don't want your bar to go through the sheetrock. Once I get this off, and you might need a little help, so you just do a little flat tip screwdriver in there, run your bar down the wall, kind of gently fasten, use your hands to pull it off. Save the exact so you know that the coping size you need to use on the new trim. There is our new piece of trim. There it is, entirely full.